I got it. It's happening. Cool deal. It's recording. All right. So I use I use my Bitmojis for social media. And so these are some examples. I created custom stickers. I use it for Twitter, anything like that. So adding my Bitmoji, I oftentimes get teased because people say I look so much like my cartoon, which is flattering because she's ageless. She's beautiful. She's fabulous. But more than once, I've had someone walk up and go, I recognize you from your cartoon. So it kind of goes to that branding and just having that look. So I use her in everything. Another way that I use Bitmoji is to create custom Google Classroom headers. And a lot of teachers are doing this now. And what's really cool is I've got some template links in here so you can go in, they're already at the right size, but you can go in and customize and have Google Classroom headers. They make them more interesting for your students, and they, you can change them out depending on what subject you're teaching, and students really get a kick out of having different ones. Some other platforms that I also use my Bitmoji in to create some custom headers. If you're a Wakelet user or if you're a Flipgrid user, those are awesome ways to kind of make your Flipgrid or your Wakelet stand out. So I have a template in there as well. All right, so let's see here. I'm watching the chat too as chats are popping in here. So if there's any questions, there we go. Boom. Oh yeah, got the recording. So the dark people freak out of the dark. So that is true. When you do for the Google header, when you go and you upload it, you want to make sure to use lighter colors because it does put like a darkened transparency over it. They do that for the readability, and unfortunately that's just an option. What would be great is if they added, maybe if we all say a little positive vibe to Google, say, hey, it would be great if we could turn that off if we don't need that readability feature for our students. Yeah, okay. So here we go. So now we've got some other options, some social media stuff. You might have noticed the Dolly Parton challenge was really popular there for a while. I don't know if anybody created their own, but my Genmoji had to participate. Dolly Parton did the LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. She also did, she did Instagram and Tinder. I did not do that. I added in Twitter. So these are my different social media versions of my Genmoji. And when I got my national board certification, when I renewed, of course, had to jazz it up, and that's how I announced it. So I also create a weekly tech newsletter that goes out, and if you're interested, you can subscribe. And everything I share, I always do a tech tip, a Chrome app, my favorite app of the week, and a digital resource. And every time I always include a Bitmoji that kind of goes along with it. And I use different tools to kind of jazz that up. So this is actually a template from Google Drawings. And as you can see, each of the elements, there's a custom Bitmoji that goes with it. Kind of goes with that branding option there. So some other ways to use it, and I've been doing a lot of these right now since we've been out for our distance learning, is to create a lot of infographics, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have been doing that as well. The online class etiquette one I did just kind of as fun for my teachers, and I was thoroughly amused that I tweeted it out and lots of people were using it, and I even had someone in Australia message me about using it, and I was like, wow, my Genmoji really is going places. So you can use it for different things, like here's a virtual field trip. So it just personalizes anything that you create. And so a lot of teachers are doing that. So some other ones, extensions for Google Meet, providing feedback on Flipgrid. So all of my infographics, I use that as well. I don't print a lot of things, but I have designed a couple of things that I think are really cool. And this is actually a printable that's 3-sided trifold, so that when I go to and do presentations, I can set this up on a table and people can come up and scan, and each QR code that's on here goes to a different resource. One is to my website, one is to my app, and one is to sign up for my Tech Tips newsletter. So this is a really cool way to do like a printable if you wanted to create this for a center and put it at different stations when we get back into the real world and we get to do that with our students face to face. Some other things that are pretty cool to create. This is a custom header that I did. This is actually the studio I'm sitting in right now. This is exactly what it looks like. So teachers have been creating their scenes for their virtual classrooms. I created my virtual Tech Tips 411 studio. So just adding other elements. This is all from shapes and graphics that I brought in, and it just gives it a more personal feel. So this is now my header on Twitter, on my YouTube channel, it's on my website. So then it's kind of that uniform, I guess we say branding, but just that look and feel. So this probably is what a lot of you guys are going to be excited to see. This right here is a cartoon starring my Genmoji. So for my Google Innovator friends that saw some tips and tricks, this is brand new that I did. I participated in Tony Vincent's Classy Creations class. And if you haven't taken any of his classes, they are fantastic. And I created this cartoon to explain to my teachers what my job is as an ETS, because oftentimes they go, what do you do and how can you help me and so forth. And so this actually is an 8-panel, like kind of a day in the life of Jen as an ETS here. And I did not mean to do little annotations there, but we're going to click off that. There we go. And so we're going to go here and I'm going to clear those little annotations here and undo, and they're going to go away. Let me clear them. Clear all drawings. Perfect. I got excited and started drawing on my own cartoon. So this is, again, a day in the life of my work as an ed tech specialist. And so I went in and created some custom elements in here, and I'm going to show you the behind the scenes. One of the first things I did was I did some face swapping, and this right here is, I need to clear all my drawings again. There we go. I created this first one. I brought it in, and if you notice on the left-hand side, you'll notice that it's not so friendly. It's more of kind of like a strained, aggravated look as you're getting ready to go jumping out. And to me, it's not an exciting option. I much prefer to have, and I'm turning these off. I don't know how I managed to get into these annotations here. Sorry, guys. I got super excited, clear all drawings, and I'm going to turn that toolbar off. There we go. So I wanted to have it more inviting. Like if we're jumping in, we want it to be super excited. So I'm going to show you that this right here is the face swapping trick. I brought in my original Bitmoji, and this is what she looks like. Not that happy face. So you're going to find another Bitmoji that has a similar profile so that the head is about the same angle. It's kind of tricky sometimes. And I'm going to crop out using Google Slides all of the stuff I don't need except for my head. And I'm going to actually shrink it down, and I'm going to overlay it on top of it. And now I've got a brand new Genmoji with the facial expression that I'm going for. So that's what I call the face swap. And I actually have a how-to tutorial on that breaks it down super slow. But here's some examples. Like that first one on the left, can I help you, is not very inviting. This is not the way to get my teachers to say, hey, I'm here to help you. So I did a face swap on it, and then I added a background color on it to make it right here so that it's a logo I can put on my website. So inside that cartoon, this is how I did that face swap and did some other elements as well. There's not a lot of standing Bitmojis, and so I had to kind of hack together a couple of different Bitmojis with the poses I wanted. And then I went in and I actually changed out my facial expression on this one, as you can see. So I added in some legs. What I've learned is you can actually search, just type in the word pose, and it's going to pull up all of your Bitmojis that are standing in a pose that you can use, which is super, super cool. So now I'm going to go here and take a look at some other ones. So this is like what it looked like once I put it all together. Here's another example of one. I really liked that power snap of the hand to show that I'm showing you magic on the screen. So I actually brought that arm in and attached it to another one right here. So it's awesome to be able to kind of split and splice your Bitmojis together. So super cool idea. Now, I saw someone mention in here that they have figured out the customized text. This was a game changer. This came out, I want to say after we got back from Innovator, so October-ish, right after. This was magical. In the Chrome extension, when you type in custom text, first it will look for something that relates to it. If not, it will create a Bitmoji with that text on it. So as you'll notice, I searched school, but it will also add school on there. I typed in learn, and it's giving me options, so I can grab that in there. Now, if you don't like the ones that, I love it. Someone said Frankenstein. Yes, love it. My Frankenstein of the hacking the Bitmojis together. So here I wanted it to say Genmoji or Tech Tips 411. What's cool is try your first options. If you don't like it, erase it and try it again. And each time you get new ones. Sometimes it might take me 4 or 5 tries before I get ones that I really, really like. Here's the thing though, when you do drag and drop or cut and paste your custom Bitmoji, it's gonna have this little yellow gold or goldish color button to let people know that this is a custom Bitmoji, so people aren't looking for that particular one, okay? So that is the coolest thing. It saved me a lot of time because now I just type what I want it to say and boom, I can use it. So here's some examples. My Tech Tips 411, I've saved those because they have my colors. But down there, there's that yellow gold button, and I can actually crop that out if it allows, or maybe throw a white circle over it and it would cover it up if you want. Okay. So let's see here. I mentioned it, we started off with the GIFs, and here's the examples of the GIFs using Easy GIF Maker. So uploading your images and being able to tell a quick story. This is a great way to hook your students and introduce a concept, and just for some entertainment value as we're wrapping up the end of the school year. So what's cool is EasyGIF.com works on your browser, or it works just as easily on your mobile device. So if you've saved your Bitmojis on your mobile device, you can easily just upload them and create that easy GIF right there, and you can change the properties on it. It's pretty cool. Another one that I like that's super easy if you're doing your creations inside of Google Slides is Tall Tweets. And if you haven't used Tall Tweets before, Tall Tweets actually allows you to take a slide deck and you can insert it, and voila, it's going to make me an animated GIF. So I started with 2 different images. They're very similar. You'll notice that I alternated the colors, learned that tip from Tony Vincent. And then on this one, I've got my arm here. It's extended a little bit this way, and I've got the closed smile. Now I've got the open smile. And now when I go to this is actually the animated GIF that was created. So you upload your presentation, you let it have permission to see it on Tall Tweets, you set your timing for it, and you can make animated GIFs. It's super, super, super easy and cool. It's a great way to have your students create stop motion projects as well. But that's how I created my waving Genmoji. It's just 2 images that I alternated to create there. So oftentimes I get asked about Friendmojis, and that's one of the best things that you can do using Snapchat, and I'm going to tell you another hack as well. So in Snapchat, if you want to be Snapchat friends with your coworkers or your friends, you can marry other Bitmojis. That's what I call it, marrying them, so that they can be together and they can have super fun times. So then you can search for the Bitmojis and you can use them for different things. So I co-present with a number of people, and I've done that. I use it also, my wife and I, this is our love language. We share Bitmojis back and forth. I mean, it's super fun, so you can connect your Bitmojis, but you have to do it using Snapchat. If you're not a Snapchat user, literally, I used it to link my Bitmoji, and then I don't touch Snapchat again until there's one fun thing I'm going to show you here in a minute. So you can do that. The other option is if you don't want to do Snapchat and you want to be able to share your Friendmojis with your teammates, there's a magical Google Sheet that you can create and have everybody copy and paste in their Bitmoji link, and then you can go and shop and borrow your Bitmoji friends. So I've got that link in there for you to grab that Google Sheet. That's in the presentation, and I'm going to share that out as well. But it's super easy. You just put each of your Bitmoji image addresses in there, and they get put together. And I always suggest people do, like I would do Jen and then Kristen and then Kristen and then Jen, so that you can get both pairs, whether you're the primary or the secondary in the Bitmoji, pairing. So that's using Friendmojis, and that's a hack if you're not using Snapchat, which is super fun. But then you can really level up and add 3 or more Bitmojis together. So I use the Friendmoji option or Snapchat option to get myself and my friend Becky's Bitmoji in the same, getting myself with Wanda. And then what I did was I cobbled them together to make one image, which is my logo that we had for our ISTE presentations this last year. So that's when you can really level up, when you are Friendmojiing and then you add multiple friends. And I even saw somebody did like a going on vacation beach scene, and everybody was adding all of their emojis in it, so you could hang out on the beach there. So this is a cool way to add more options. Now, here's my secret tip. So you guys are getting the secret tip. I love my Bitmoji, and I love that you can search inside of the Bitmoji app. But when you go into the Bitmoji app and you choose to save that image, and it saves it locally in your local photo album, it saves it as a JPEG, which means it's going to put that white background around it, and that means you're not going to be able to have as much power and the ability to kind of change the elements on it. So I use Google Keep. By doing that, I go in and I paste it into Google Keep. So you can pull up your keyboard option. I paste it into Google Keep, and it saves it as a PNG. By doing that, then I have some more flexibility. This is also how I organize all of my ones, because sometimes there's like limited edition Bitmojis that you want to make sure you save it before it goes away. For example, the Star Wars ones and the Game of Thrones ones that were limited edition ones. So I save them in my Google Keep, and when you do that, it saves it as a PNG file, and then you can easily just add it into other elements and save it locally. From there, you can save it locally to your photo drive or upload it to your Google Drive. You've got options. You can, from the local app, copy and paste it directly into Google Slides. That's another option, and it will do it as, if you paste it directly in, it will do it as a PNG. Okay? So now the next thing is to level up even more, and that's to App Smash. So this is where I'm taking all the good fun stuff together, and I'm using one of my favorite tools, which is PhotoGrid. PhotoGrid is super cool and super easy to use. There's the free version, which has, of course, advertisements in it, and they don't bother me. I've been able to use it to do whatever I want, or you can pay to get rid of the advertisements. So this is actually one that I created in PhotoGrid. I layered in here. I was doing a 6th grade science lesson. We were creating NASA-inspired planet posters. And so I had my NASA gear on, but I added in my Bitmoji, and then added in the elements of obviously the helmet and so forth to create a new image that I was able to share out on social media. So you can use PhotoGrid, add in your Bitmoji. A lot of people use that kind of a hack to do like book snaps, and it's super fun. So the last time I did this session was on May the 4th. So this was what I created for May the 4th be with you. I actually brought in this right here, and notice I changed this because it's May the Force be with you, but I added that text using that text hack, and I saved it as a new image and was able to bring it into my PhotoGrid app to create this. That was, you know, rocking the shirt, there's Star Wars Day and all of that, and that was created in PhotoGrid. So I definitely suggest checking out PhotoGrid. It's super fun. So some other cool apps that you can use to level up your Bitmoji creations is remove image, remove.bg. If you have not used this, this is a magical site. It works from your phone. It works from the web. You upload your image, and then it magically takes out the background. That's how I'm able to take photos in front of my green screen and then take the green screen out and overlay it into whatever background I want. I've also done that with the Green Screen by Doink app. Lets me to do multiple layers to make a green screen image that way. Or I can use VScope, and if you're not familiar with VScope, it is super cool because you can do 6 layers. So if you really want to add in multiple Bitmojis and you want to have multiple elements on top of it, it's super cool. Both Doink and VScope are paid apps, but definitely worth it, so you could check it out. Another really cool tool is to use Spark, Adobe video tools, and their Spark Post. Those are super cool. I've seen a lot of end of the year videos starring Bitmojis that they've created in Spark. So it's a great way for you to add elements together and create kind of a intro video or just kind of a brain break for your students. So this is my latest discovery, and I was super excited about this. Is anyone using Canva? I'm curious. Canva is one of my new favorite things. Canva is super cool. But how many of you knew that you could link your Bitmoji account and drag your Bitmojis right in? That's a game changer. Carolyn's over there. I see her going, what? This is super exciting. Yeah, so I did a session on Canva, and if you're not familiar with Canva, on my distance learning page, I've got a whole tutorial on Canva and getting started. But when I was working with it and saw you could connect your Bitmoji, that takes out an extra layer. Now, I will point out, you can't search them, so you got to scroll through and see the ones that you want. But you can just drag and drop them in there. And what's super cool is you can also crop them and edit them and kind of take out if you don't like the words that are with it. Or I've even managed to do some face swapping and hacking in Canva as well. So other tools that are really cool that you want to check out is the icons for everything, to use like the Google Slides icons. They jazz up your creation, but also the color picker, the eyedropper, is an extension. The powerful thing about that is if I want to match my background to what my Bitmoji is wearing and what my image is wearing, that color pick eyedropper is going to allow me to just click, get that hex code, and I can make sure that everything right now. Yeah, Sarah, the color pickers, are you like me? You want to make sure that everything matches all the time. Exactly, all the time. So those are a couple of other tools that you can use. So here's some examples of some of my recent creations to kind of show those different ways that I'm using it. So this is a creation in Google Slides, just an advertisement for getting people to sign up for my Tech Tips 411. I recertified recently for Google Level 2 Certified Educator, and so of course I had to throw my Bitmoji on there, and I did this inside of PhotoGrid, and here's an overlay as well for that one. And this one's pretty cool too. I mashed up using the GIF maker with Google Slides to create this, and this is a logo for my new Lights Camera Action app. So these are just a couple of different ways that I'm using my Bitmoji. You know, you can do fun stuff like this, get Bitmoji to dance. And this was done in WeVideo so that I could put that moving background in there, and that was a lot of fun. But now y'all are gonna see my new favorite thing that I just learned how to do. This right here is dancing Bitmoji. So you might be wondering, how did you do that? I used now I said you don't have to use a Snapchat again unless you want to. Snapchat has a feature, which is the 3D avatar option for Bitmoji. If you go into Snapchat and you turn your camera away so that it's capturing your environment, a Bitmoji filter comes up as an option, and you can search different dances and different things that they're doing, yoga, sweeping, lots of different dance moves, old school dance moves. And then what I did here was I took Bitmoji and I filmed her in front of a chroma key color Google Slide background. So that way I could take out the background and I could put her anywhere I want. So all I did was use my camera in front of it. If you've got a green screen, that's even better. But you can use the green color and you film in front of it. And then I was able to bring it into Do Ink to take out that background, and I just wanted it to be a black background and give me that that video option in there as well. So that's another way you can really level up with Bitmoji, is using that 3D option. So you can actually record. Now, if you want to, you can record it in front of whatever, you know, location you are. But if you use the green screen option, now you have the option of using your Bitmoji or my Bitmoji or Bitmoji anywhere you want. So boom, that was like super fast, even though we had some technical troubles, but my goal was to do it in 30 minutes or less, and I think we did. So question, did you learn some tips and tricks for using your Bitmoji to engage your audience? Did you learn something you did not know? Were you kind of like, wow, I have something to try? That's the definition of App Smash. Yes, right there. So I wanted to be kind of informal here. Give some time for times for questions, comments. Very, very informal. If you want to, you know, throw some comments in there, questions, that would be awesome. I'm going to give you guys this link, 2 links. First of all, I have a challenge for you. You can't just learn. We want you to try. So here's your challenge: to try one or more of these ideas, whether it's to crop or change your Bitmoji shape, to change your Bitmoji test. Look at that. Oh, look at Carolyn showing me. She's got the Bitmoji dancing. I see it. I see it. I love it. Add a new element to your Bitmoji, swap your Bitmoji's face, create a Bitmoji scene, add the Bitmojis together, create a Bitmoji GIF, app smash with your Bitmoji, do one or all of the above. And what I want you to do is I'm actually going to give you this link. So I'm going to actually copy this link address here, and I want to put it in the chat. And I'm also going to put the presentation in the chat. This is your turn. I'd love to see what you come up with. That way we can see what everybody does. And I'm going to give you the link here to the presentation as well. Copy that link address there. So there's both. One is the presentation. The top one is you see the YT, that's the your turn. And that will allow you to go in and check it out. And I also have a Bitmoji resources page. So as I'm adding more things, that's where it is. So what you guys saw is one session. I've done this session previously. I've also got the presentation up. But as you can see, I've got a number of those examples. There's that link to the Friendmojis sheet that you need right there to check out. Definitely want you to check that out as well. So that's what I had. Super quick, super fun. But hopefully you got an idea on something. I'm thrilled to see so many of my NYC 19 folks. Thanks for hanging out. Sorry we had the technical issues. Apparently it was not just me, but a little bit of everybody. I think we're all on the internet struggle bus right now. I think because everyone in the world is on the internet right now is struggling. But any questions for me, comments, thoughts? Would love to know, you know, if you have any questions. Thank you, Sue. I appreciate you tuning in. It's nice to see so many familiar faces. So I did record it, and I know I didn't catch the first beginning of it, but the link to the presentation is there for you. Oh, I'm having a hard time finding the Bitmoji AR in Snapchat. You have to turn the camera around so it's not front facing, it's forward facing, because then it's pulling it into your AR environment. Okay. So you have to definitely, you have to share, you have to flip it around, and that
Yes, you can reorder the questions. The easiest way to reorder the questions is just to grab this little 6 dots, and I can pick it up and move it to where I need it to be. Great question.
Okay, awesome. How do you connect your Bitmoji to Canva? Good, you got it. Great questions. Well, this was super fun because I absolutely love getting to talk about Bitmoji because it is a little bit of a passion of mine. Some people might say an obsession. But I think it's just a cool way to engage your audience, and there's so many cool ways to do it. There is another thing, and I haven't put it in there because I haven't created one, but you might want to check out More Obsession Than T-Shirts. Yes, and you might not have noticed. Hold on, wait. Look at that. I have my Genmoji on my T-shirt. Just for today. I saved it just for today, for today's session. Oh, wait, you didn't see it? Hold on. Wait for it. Wait for it. Okay. I tweeted it out. I'll share the link. If you can't see me, sorry about that. I've got too many cameras going on. So, oh, we can't see you. Saw it. Good. You got it? All right. Yes, it's super fun. But there is these virtual classrooms that a lot of teachers are creating in Google Slides and Google Drawings where they're putting interactive elements, including their Bitmojis in there. If you haven't already done so, I suggest you join. There's a Facebook group called Bitmoji Crazed Teachers. And there's like 10,000 educators in there sharing all sorts of crazy fun stuff. So
I'm sure that you are very active there.
Let's share this out as a session. I was like, maybe some folks will come and join us. All right. Well, I so appreciate y'all's time and certainly your patience as we connected and made this happen. Yes. But thank you guys so much for your time. And Wiley, thank you so much for the opportunity to share
Definitely.
Of the Bitmoji. How do you connect Canva? Okay, so great question. Hold on, since I'm sharing my screen. Do this. I'm going to go to my Canva account. And I'm going to log in here. You should still, hopefully you guys are still seeing my screen here. Yep. All right. So I went to my Canva account here, and I'm going to go here, and it's inside once you're in a design. That's kind of the tricky thing. So I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to go to this one. I was working on this one right here. And down here into the bottom, they hide it under more, the 3 dots. Scroll down, and you're going to see apps that are available, and you're going to look for Bitmoji, and then you're going to connect it. You have to log in and connect your Bitmoji app. So you're going to log in and give it permission. Now, I will tell you something I learned is, and I'm hoping maybe she's updated it, I am a little fanatical about changing my outfits to match what I'm doing. So yesterday I changed it when I did my photos so it would match. And then when I changed it back, it took a while for Canva to recognize that change. So just be mindful of that. So yes, she's back to my regular scheduled outfit, but I had changed it for yesterday. But here's super easy. I can go down here and just, so I want this one right here, just drag it in, and I can still go in here and I can actually use the crop option, and I can add in text, and I can group and all of that. So yeah, so now she's there, but I can't search her. It just puts them in there, and I have noticed it does not include every single Bitmoji, but a good portion of them. So it does, right? That's how you're going to connect it right there. Yeah, Lynn, exactly. That group is great. The Bitmojis Crazed Educators, they are cracking me up. And you, oh, awesome, awesome, awesome. Cool deal. So again, I appreciate everyone's time, and this was super. Dumb question, what is Canva for? Jenny, not a dumb question, not at all. Canva, and if you want a deep dive, I'll share a link. Canva is a design tool. The benefit of doing it on Canva is if I start from scratch, and I love to do design stuff, I'll do it in Google Slides. I'll start from scratch because I want a basic template. But what's really cool is here is I can go to templates, and it's already going to be in the formatted size. So if you're like me and you're like, well, what size is a Google header and what size is a Twitter header and all of that, I can search by categories, and they have all of these different styles and designs that are ready to go. And I can just pick one and I can just change it out. So for example, I've been doing a lot of YouTube thumbnails because I've been doing a lot of videos, and this is a super cool way to do it. I can go from scratch, or I can start with one that's already in a format, and I just change out the elements right there. So I'm going to just go here. I wish I was going to Tuscany. I'm going to use this template. And now it's already set up, but I can go in here and I've already got backgrounds I can change. I can search by color. I always use something that's blue. So that's the advantage of Canva. And I can just go in here and do some really cool designs, and I can export it as pretty much anything right there. I just updated my YouTube thumbnails. Yes, that's a big one. I wish you knew to, yeah, I'm backdating mine. I'm starting with the new ones, and I got to go back and update the ones I had before. But I can go in here and look at all these ways I can publish whatever I create. You can even export this as a PowerPoint. So many options. So Jenny, explore Canva. There's free, and then there's paid for, but I've been able to do everything I want to do for free. It will tell you if it's not a free item on there. So yeah, definitely check it out, Jenny. Very cool. So yeah, Desiree, definitely fun to update the YouTube thumbnails. I am like all about that right now. So I usually used to do mine in Google Slides, but now that I've got this template that they're going to make them a higher resolution, I really like this a lot. Awesome. Okay. So any other questions, comments, thoughts? Again, I appreciate everyone's time. This is my last week of school. I don't know if it's your all's last week of school. Well, I say it's the last week for the students. I work through June. So I know that this is like, we're on the train, we're moving, there's so much going on, but I appreciate you spending a little bit of time with me to learn some things, and can't wait to see what you guys create. So make sure that you check out. I want to go in here and see that someone has added to our collective Bitmojis. I definitely want to see that someone's going to dazzle me with what you got right here in our joint creation slide deck here. So dazzle me with what you come up with the that tip or trick that you learned. That's a tongue twister. So you're going to grab a slide and just add to it what you have come up with. Something that, look at that. Daryl, I love you, my friend. Look at you. You're a rock star. Fantastic. Super fun. Can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Oh, he is out of, you're a fish out of water? You are a fish out of water. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Super cool. This was super fun. Again, thanks for hanging out. Sorry we had our technical issues, but I still think you guys got a couple good nuggets, hopefully. And check out the resources on my website. And if you want to, I'm going to be doing some live PDs streaming on YouTube. So love for you to join me then. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stop the recording here.